This is CTC News with Wesley Qatar, broadcasting from Sint-Eustatius, Dutch Caribbean. Sponsored by UTLNV, Windward Island Bank, Kodo's Purchasing Services, and Duggins Shopping Center.
It's Monday, April 22nd, 2013 on the Golden Rock. Good evening, I am Wesley Qatar and this is CTC News, broadcasting live from CTC Studios in Statius Mall. In tonight's local news, Sint-Eustatius presents Intangible Cultural Heritage to UNESCO, naturalization exams to be held in May-June, local market on Friday. Details in local news right after this.
You're watching CTC TV, bringing you the best in news, local shows, movies, music videos, live shows, animation, and much, much more. Don't miss CTC TV.
CTC News, sponsored by UTLNV, Windward Island Bank, Kodo's Purchasing Services, and Duggins Shopping Center.
A delegation from Sint-Eustatius presented the island's intangible cultural heritage and an overview of activities to keep them alive in Aruba as part of a workshop on the UNESCO Convention for Safeguarding Immaterial Cultural Heritage and the Dutch Kingdom. Eustatius delegation consisted of Commissioner for Culture, Kalar Altea, UNESCO representative Christina Timber-Glover, Sint-Eustatius Historical Foundation's Youth Club leader Misha Spana, and Monuments Director and Secretary of Historical Foundation Walter Hellebrand. Intangible cultural heritage consists of all expressions of culture that are not objects, buildings, for example, music, songs, traditions, customs, recipes, and celebrations. Hellebrand gave a presentation with an overview of Eustatius' intangible cultural heritage, such as Blyden drink, baking in a stone oven, nega business, Christmas caroling, Kili band, and the role of various groups and organizations involved with keeping culture alive, such as Culture Department, Aloe Dancers, Tourism Development Foundation, the Library, Burkle Family Museum, and Chapel Peace Recreational Center. Thanks to Misha Spana and her mother, delegates were given a taste of homemade Blyden and Eustatius traditional hard cakes. The Netherlands signed the UNESCO Convention, and the workshop was organized to see how all parts of the kingdom can work together in the implementation of this convention and learn from initiatives elsewhere. Representatives from Aruba, Curaçao, Bonaire, Saba, the Netherlands, and UNESCO also gave presentations. The conference is to lead to concrete agreements about cooperation and about the best way to create one or more inventories of intangible cultural heritage representing the entire kingdom. The workshop is also to result in a capacity building program for the Dutch Caribbean to be financed by UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage Fund and the Dutch Ministry of Culture, Education and Science. Since intangible heritage lives amongst the people, it is the intention that the entire Statia community contributes towards the inventory of Statia. An information campaign is to be launched to that effect. And now for a reminder for the persons interested in taking the naturalization exams, the Office of the Island Governor issued the following statement. Naturalization exams will be held in the following period, May 29, 2013 until June 12, 2013. The following examinations will take place: orientation on society and political systems, language skills, English, reading, writing, listening, and speaking, language skills, Dutch, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. All persons interested in taking these exams can register at the Cabinet of the Island Governor at the Government Administration Building starting April 11, 2013, and every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. The final date for registration is May 8, 2013. Local market will be held once again on Friday, April 26 at the Wilhelmina Park, starting from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Looking for fresh herbs, local fruit trees, plants, fresh vegetables and fruits, local food, sweet mouth cosmetics, clothing, and much more, then visit the local market on Friday, April 26 at the Wilhelmina Park. Coming up next in regional news, former minister masterminded motion, says St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister. More details in regional news and later international news as we return from a short break.
CTC News, sponsored by UTLNV, Wynwood Island Bank, Kodo's Purchasing Services, and Duggins Shopping Center.
Tonight in regional news, the mastermind behind the no-confidence motion against the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is Dr. Timothy Harris, a former senior minister in the cabinet of Prime Minister Dr. Denzel Douglas. Harris is also chairman of the governing St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. This was revealed by Douglas during a political meeting on Thursday night. Douglas told the crowd that the motion was only submitted by the leader of the opposition in the National Assembly, Mark Brantley. Douglas stunned party supporters when he revealed, "I am telling you tonight, and I challenge Timothy Harris to respond tomorrow and for the rest of the week on Win FM and Freedom FM. Tell him I say that he is the one who masterminded it, the motion of no confidence." On January 25th this year, Douglas fired Harris as the Senior Minister and Minister of Agriculture, International Trade, Consumer Affairs and Industry, and Constituency Empowerment. In announcing his dismissal, Douglas said then it had become quite clear that Harris did not regard himself as being bound by the collective responsibility of the cabinet, and this could become disruptive to the smooth flow of government business. He noted it is completely within the right of Harris or any member of parliament to hold and express views contrary to the government or the party of which he is a part. The Constitution provides for freedom of speech, and it is not his intention to muzzle anyone. However, When differences between a party or a government and one of its members are of such a fundamental nature that it could undermine the ability of government to discharge its obligations to the people it serves, then the leadership of the government has a duty to take action in the interest of the government and people it serves. The need for action in this case of Senior Minister Harris is even more acute in view of his activities and statements aimed at undermining the programs and initiatives of the government, said Douglas. He said the dismissal of Harris became necessary because of the need to ensure that the government continues to function smoothly and that the investment climate is not unduly affected by the political maneuvering that has become evident in recent months. In international news, gene data shows China bird flu mutated under the radar. The new strain of bird flu that has killed 17 people in China has been circulating widely under the radar and has acquired significant genetic diversity that makes it more of a threat, scientists said on Friday. Dutch and Chinese researchers who analyzed genetic data from 7 samples of the new H7N9 strain say it has already acquired similar levels of genetic diversity as much larger outbreaks of other H7 strains of flu seen previously in birds. The diversity we see in these first few samples from China is as great as the diversity we have seen with a large outbreak in the Netherlands several years ago and one in Italy, said Marion Koopmans, head of virology at the Dutch National Institute for Public Health and the Environment, who worked on the study as part of a 9-member team. This means the H7N9 strain in China has been spreading quite a bit, and it's important to understand where exactly that is going on. Its genetic diversity shows the virus has an ability to mutate repeatedly and is likely to continue doing so, raising the risk that it may become transmissible among humans. Koopmans, whose research was published in the online journal Eurosurveillance, said the circulation would probably have taken place in either birds or mammals, but said exactly which animals were involved was not yet clear. Simply the fact that this virus is spreading under the radar, because that is what this data confirms, is of concern, she told Reuters in a telephone interview. The H7N9 virus is so far known to have infected 87 people in China, killing 17 of them. Health officials raised further questions on Friday about the source of the new strain after data indicated that more than half of the patients has had no contact with poultry. A scientific study published last week showed the H7N9 strain was a so-called triple reassortant virus with a mixture of genes from 3 other flu strains found in birds in Asia. One of those 3 strains is thought to have come from a brambling, a type of small wild bird. For their study, Koopmans and her team compared some data from the first 2 weeks of the China H7N9 outbreak with data from a large H7N7 flu outbreak in birds and people in the Netherlands in 2003 and an H7N1 epidemic in birds in Italy in 1999 and 2000. The Dutch outbreak resulted in infection of poultry on 255 farms and led to the culling of about 30 million chickens. Some 89 people were also diagnosed as having the H7N7 virus, and 1 person, a vet, died as a result of the infection. The comparison suggested that widespread circulation must have occurred, resulting in major genetic diversification, the researchers wrote in their study. Coming up next after the break, your 3-day weather forecast for the islands of Statia, Saba, and St. Martin. Details and local weather conditions right after this.
The greatest gift of all.
Education is the #1 driving force in a successful future. But great parenting prepares a child for the challenges to come and motivates any child to accomplish and succeed.
Be your child's role model and be the best parent you can be. Learn great parenting guides and strategies at www.parenting.org.
Beyond the children.
Motivate and educate.
So let's start giving. There's a
CTC News, sponsored by UTLNV, Wynwood Island Bank, Kodo's Purchasing Services, and Duggins Shopping Center.
Welcome back, and now for your 3-day weather forecast for the islands of Seisha and Saba. Tonight, Monday, April 22nd, scattered showers with temperatures of 84 degrees Fahrenheit, 30% chances of rain with winds east-northeast at 16 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Tuesday, April 23rd, AM showers with temperatures of 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 30% chances of rain with winds east at 18 miles per hour. Wednesday, April 24th, scattered showers with temperatures of 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 30% chances of rain with the winds east at 15 miles per hour. We now move over to St. Martin. Tonight, Monday, April 22nd, scattered showers with temperatures of 84 degrees Fahrenheit, 30% chances of rain with the winds east at 11 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Tuesday, April 23rd, AM showers with temperatures of 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 30% chances of rain with winds east at 14 miles per hour. Then on Wednesday, April 24th, scattered showers with temperatures of 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 30% chances of rain with the winds east-southeast at 11 miles per hour. That concludes another edition of CTC News for this evening. Join us again on Wednesday as we continue to bring you more current updates. Until next time, do have a good evening.